So it's weird enough that I nearly forgot about this with everything that's
I was
happening with
wondering if you'd
E3.
remember. I was like, does he remember?
I remember
Hey
that.
guys, welcome. It's like aside from all the E3 stuff that's happening, it's still My Hero Academia manga stream chapter Sunday, and I'm here with Mark. We're here covering the latest chapter, which is chapter 316. But first, there's something that we always do, Mark, and what would that be?
Recap episode!
Yes, it is the recap episode. We're looking at actually hold on, let me just back out of the full screen here. But we're looking at chapter 315 just really briefly. It's been a week. It was the conclusion to if I can actually click on it. It was the conclusion to the fight with Deku versus Lady Nagant. This is spoilers, massive spoilers by the way, everyone.
Huge, massive spoilers. Biggest of spoilers.
Spoiler as fuck. This is gonna be really interesting. Mark, can you see the manga from what I'm reading?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's now on the smaller side of things from this window. But essentially, again, spoilers on this. We jump into a bit with Chisaki talking to Lady Nagant before they both head out. He was saying that I know this kid. This kid foiled my plans before. And she was like, oh, so you could help me. So why don't you mind just tagging along with me? ID the target for me? Sure, but one condition. He was saying, like, this is not, I'm not getting between you and a grudge here. He's like, he's not that. I only have one thing that I have left, and that's boss. Take me to him. So in the midst of the actual fight itself, she throws out a gross arm cannon. Arm rifle, specifically. About to snipe the hell out of Chisaki. But Deku, as she best describes it, like, after the fact, changes the trajectory immediately upon, like, her swinging her arm around. Utilizes all these different, like, abilities, like, from his quirks, using Black Whip to kind of, like, swing him around, using that, that force and energy, and charge up his Vajin on his feet to propel him forward and do what he calls the centrifugal force of it, to give him an added boost to create a new technique to I guess if anything offset the inability to use 100% and call it faux 100%.
It's like faux fur. It's like fur, but it's also not fur.
Yes, exactly. He says, I'll talk to you later, Chisaki, after he saves them. And he, like, slingshot himself to Lady Nagant, busts her rifle. It's in a bent L shape now.
It's legit a backwards L.
And she's like, this is crazy, what you just did. And he catches her. And he's like,
yep.
Listen, help us. You've been on the other side before. So you're the only one who has a better idea of, like, how to best make a better society now.
On top of that, your shot was gonna miss anyway. If you actually wanted to hit him, you would have just taken me down and hit him without curving your bullet.
Right. But she was like, damn, you right. You the real deal. And then explodes. And then you blow up.
You the real deal.
You have All For One. But he has, like, really clean, straight teeth. He's like, you fool. Of course I knew you'd lose. Or at least in case you did. I inserted another quirk to you. Some kind of remote explosion type of thing.
They put in some kind of thing on there that just says kablooey.
Oh, also, Mark, Hades is coming to PlayStation 4. I just saw the notification on that. But aside from that, there's Hawks catching Lady Nagant in her absolutely charged form now.
He got little wings.
Little wings.
Kristoff called them baby wings.
Little wings.
Like, that's foul as shit. That's foul as shit to call them baby wings.
Baby wings. Those Buffalo Wild Wings inside as well. But so yeah, no, she's burnt to a crisp. Hawks has caught her, and that is the end of chapter 315. And now,
She burnt to a crisp, and Hawks just got through healing up from being burnt to a crisp.
right, he's doing his best out there. Well, I think we can. Okay, cool. That works. Works for me. Yeah. All right. So now we're starting with chapter 316, dubbed "Your Turn." As we have Hawks catch Lady Nagant and Deku mid falling here. We have Endeavor like come into the fray and says, "We got word from All Might. Sorry, we were late. Rain and I don't really get along well. Status report. Any enemies besides Nagant? Endeavor." This is Hawks saying something. I should have known.
You see his wings? Whoop, whoop, whoop.
He's falling with style. That's what he's doing right now.
He just whoop, whoop.
Flap, flap. Let's see. Do you want to take this one?
Sure. I'm not up for flying just yet. As he's falling down, you see he just gets grabbed by the black whip. Hawks, says Izuku. No power left. I can't pull them up. Based on the timing of the explosion, I don't think she caused it on her own. All for One gave her an extra quirk to use. And he must have booby trapped her body.
Yes, actually on both on both words. Poor
Oh, you see
Nagant.
her face is still somewhat intact.
Yeah, I thought it was just gone.
It, like, I guess it's blood.
But they're still falling at this point. Hey, I'm Hawks, your replacement. All for One must have sweet talked you into this. I know you're better than this. Nothing, no response. And now that you fought that kid, I bet you realize that's too early for us to throw in the towel. I mean, she just passed out. Come on now. Looks like a few words on this one. I'll go ahead and do it. Please tell me what you know. Bro, she just passed out. Leave us with some hope to hold on to. He used you, but don't let it end like that. You're a hero. You're Lady Nagant. Little speckle.
Ching.
All right, Mark.
My replacement. The safety commission, huh? What does it say? I bet that, like me, you've done horrible things. All while following orders. How do you still have that glimmer in your eye? Like, so then, how do you have that glimmer in your eye? This road only leads to chaos. The way forward is shrouded in darkness. So how? How are you people still so, as we see Izuku, Hawks, and then we see the young Lady Nagant?
Man, she was in a different world. Wow.
We see her looking up at the stars.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
She's
Yeah.
crying.
It's crazy. Oh, should I do this one?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so as you were saying, she was looking up in the stars. As she's falling, she opens her eyes and belts out, within 2 months, I was supposed to bring the target to a mansion in Highbury Woods. Looks like they somewhat safely land. Deku's working on his hero landing real quick. She says, not just me. He reached out to some others.
So there's more than just one?
Yeah. Tell me, Mr. Replacement. My soul couldn't take any more. So how do you still have that look in your eyes?
We
Oh.
see little Hawks. He looks
Little
so
Hawk's
cute.
holding on to toy Endeavor.
It's cute. He was like, I wasn't alone in this. And what can I say? I'm optimistic to a fault. That sounds like me.
Hmm.
Deku, says Endeavor holding Ichisaki. There's no one else besides him, right? No, this wasn't the deal. You weren't supposed to get caught. Chisaki. We see it's Chisaki.
Yeah, that's him. He's really shooken up.
Take me to the boss. He's all I've got left. Izuku's just looking at him like, damn. I gotta tell him I'm sorry. Chisaki. Shut up, you diseased maggot. I'm talking to her. Do you remember everything you did to Eri? Eri? Of course, with Eri. Of course, with Eri, I could. You want to say sorry, do you?
Okay. So Deku continues, if you're willing to direct that same energy toward Eri, I'll honor your deal in Lady Nagan's place.
He's like, basically, if you apologize to Eri, I'll help you and take you to your boss.
Meanwhile, skirt! Not quite the Tumblr, it's just like some other card that All Might found
Hercules.
somewhere
Hercules
else.
No, that's Hercules. It's Hercules.
Wait, is it? Oh, yeah, it does open upward. Kid, are you okay?
Dude, Hercules is tough.
Hercules just built different. Damn, dude. Deku just... Well, I guess I'll talk about like in the discussions after, but next page, we have Endeavor saying Lady Nagan and Kaijisaki are in custody. Get the word to the cops. And we need medical aid for this one. As we have like other shots of Ox doing something, but it's Deku looking at Lady Nagan as she had like a smile on her face right before she went.
Does he have his hand on her head?
I think so, yeah. Midoriya's badly hurt. He needs help too. As you just see like a shot of like Deku. Obviously
serious.
That's very serious. All for one. Just those words just in sheer like darkness of this panel. Oh. And actually it cuts like a bit of like darkness in this panel too on the next page. But go ahead, Mark, on this one.
Good looking there, everyone, says Hawks. Be cautious, says Best Jeanist. Hang on, Deku, don't be reckless, says Endeavor. He's like, hang on, Deku, don't be reckless. High Buddy Woods, former hideouts of the Creature Rejection Clan, the hate group against heteromorphs. Or I guess heteromorphs.
I was gonna say, isn't that the same place that the League of Villains kind of stayed for a little bit?
Maybe.
Yeah,
but
like,
it was a former thing for a group that was against, I guess heteromorphs was the term for humans that started getting quirks.
Yeah? Or I was thinking like more like physical attributes to it.
All right, let's see in this next page. All for One and Shigaraki still aren't capable as we see Izuku walking towards the mansion, looking serious as fuck as he smacks the doors open. Bam!
Damn, dude. We're still not even done yet.
I'm waiting for you to get to the last page. I'm really waiting for it.
Okay. Lord, here we go. It's the space is completely empty. Just looking out front. As we hear something through communications. Did you enjoy your Q&A session with Lady Nagan? Well, Izuku Midoriya? And it's a little projection.
The way you said that, well, Izuku Midoriya? I'm just like, what the fuck? Well, Izuku Midoriya?
Well? I'm glad you enjoyed it. Because if you're seeing this message, that must have been what happened.
Is he just clapping?
He's just still clapping at this point. I'll continue with this one. Endeavor says, this place is deserted. I should have known. You see, as Alphonse continues, I love predicting and reading people. And a boy like you could never outrun and abandon someone like her, yes? Izuku Midoriya? He clenches his fist a little bit. He's doing the Arthur meme. I didn't force her, you know. She acted on her own free will. But those poor souls who stumbled on the road of life are labeled villains. Or, sorry, let me reread that. But those poor souls who stumbled on the road of life are labeled as villains. Oh, God. I saw a little bit
People
of it.
go
Go ahead.
people go on and on about quirks, preaching the merits of individualism. But ours is a regimented society under tight control, one where the wrong sort of individuality gets you ostracized or purged. Democracy, socialism, doesn't matter. There are no exceptions, because the root of all this predates the concept of human society altogether. It's the principle that governs all social organisms. The path you've chosen is a thorny one. Every battle grinds away at your soul with no end in sight. Can you guess who was on my mind the entire time I was in jail? You. All Might
You.
no longer interests me. I've moved on from that great useless oaf. Now it's your turn. Boom! And the entire mansion explodes. Remember when I sent you that thing of the guy doing a double take and his eyes were huge again? Yeah, that's why.
Wait, what was that?
Remember on the messenger when I said the one guy who's on the boat and he looks the second time his eyes are massive.
Yes, I do remember that.
That's because I was like, this motherfucker just blew up the entire mansion.
Well, if it's unoccupied, then he's always been planning ahead.
I know, but I didn't expect them to walk into a bomb.
I figured that like the place would blow up at some point. Like some hideout explodes, but that quickly though, in the same chapter.
Why does this keep happening to them?
It's because it's All For One. He's the one who's
blowing up.
He's so big on the explosion department.
He must really like Bakugo.
Perhaps. But he was quick to like take care of him too. But damn, dude. So what I gathered then is that Lady Nagan is still kind of okay.
Kind of.
Kind of okay.
I want to point out how important this is. Go back to the last panel. No, the last panel.
Last panel?
Yeah, the very last panel of the chapter.
Okay.
I want to point something out to you. He's legit mirroring All Might's "You're next."
No, I got it.
Like that's so impactful. Like even like in the translation that I read, he legit says "You're next" is what he says in the translation that I read, and I was like, ugh!
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a weird thing with translation stuff, even back then too, because All Might did say like "You're next" or something like that, and people interpret it as like, he's saying that to the villains who would try to do this again. But then they changed it to "It's your turn," so he's pointing at like any would-be hero to rise up against it. So two different meanings, but they carry the same amount of weight.
Even when they did that, like, you know, the civilians thought All Might was talking to the villains, but Izuku knew who it was directed to him.
It was directed to him. So no matter what that translation was, Deku was the one to receive it directly. And you know, like how All For One is, he's not only can he plan ahead of things, but he likes to just toy around because he's got nothing better to do. He has all the quirks in the world.
I still say the man is legit a sociopath.
And I'm not denying it. It's just like he's the type of person who is absolutely like unstable, no matter how calm and collective he is.
He doesn't seem to show any emotion.
Because he's always smiling.
I know, it's like we've seen him frown like once, but then he went straight back to smiling.
Mm-hmm. I do want to what did I just press an arrow on? So I'm trying to like pick up on like the actual like bits in between the talk and the explosion. So Deku is simply listening. That's what he's doing like in this shot, like prior to that. And then near the last two panels, I kind of interpret it as rain, but he's inside, so It's just like for this conversation that he's receiving, it's like a weight that's being weighed on him. It becomes a little bit more intense too. And I'm thinking like, is Danger Sense going to kick in at any point? Or at least does it give you like a actual like visual indicator of that? But most likely they'll share that like next time, which is actually on the next week actually. So we get another week of this.
Horikoshi just going in.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I 100% truly believe that Deku can literally fly out of that room, that house, in no time flat. The other
Faster than a
guys,
spitting bullet.
uh, the other guys, I'm not so sure.
Endeavor, I think, would be fine.
Yeah, probably.
You
But
know who's
if you
most
could
at risk?
see, damn, dude,
You know
Mount
who's most at
Lady,
risk in that kind of thing?
Mount Lady,
Kamui
Kamui
Woods.
Woods, Headshot's there. I'm sure he's fine. But like Genus,
I feel
our
like
boy,
I feel like no one is at a higher risk than Kamui Woods. The man's a plant.
the boy's nature.
Fire hurts nature.
But this is kind of a crazy shot actually, because it does kind of hark back to the initial like raid on the League of Villains when All Might was leading that. In a way, kind of still like actually it's pretty much the same cast of characters who were part of that operation too,
Pretty much.
with Hawks included. So it's just crazy because we don't get to see the characters after the fact either.
Yeah.
We just see Endeavor like right next to Deku. So I don't know. This is obvious. I mean, hopefully, I hope no one like really got hit by that, but it still happened. And
Oh, like it's dude. I know. I think that something. I don't think we're gonna have any deaths, but I do think we may have at least like one injury.
yeah, probably. And also, when did this like them going into the woods versus like that time frame of like getting gone to the hospital, treating Deku's wounds too?
I would assume it was kind of a time skip.
Yeah, a really quick time skip. This is oh my god, this is so wild because for because we haven't even talked about the whole Chisaki and Deku dynamic.
I'm very
Like,
interested to see where that's gonna go.
what's interesting was the fact that like I figured that Chisaki obviously he's absolutely desperate to see his boss at this point.
They'll do
Um,
anything.
but honestly, I kind of thought he would feel indifferent, like among everyone else. He would, or just feel like an empty husk of something. But now he's like just desperate. That's how he is now. To like lash back at Deku, who he has absolutely no interest, and is outright saying that.
He's like, I don't hold a grudge. I could care less.
But she's the one to help me get to the boss. Deku asking about Eri. He's like, of course I remember Eri. I could have.
He said, with Aerie, she could bring the boss back out of it.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're willing to direct that same energy towards Eri, I'll honor your deal and lay Nagon's place.
He's
So,
like, hey, if you do this, I will help you regardless of your past.
yeah. And that's good because this is exactly what we wanted to see in Deku is to actually consider how the villains are feeling in their
Yeah.
circumstances.
It's because it's because a lot of the times people don't realize there's more to a situation, like, you know, shades, it's like they said, shades of gray.
Yeah. As he was mentioning too. And it looks like for now, Lady Nagant only had like one thing to say, and that was it.
What she said was very powerful because they gave them the information what they needed. Granted, all for one knew. He's like, oh, she's gonna tell. Huh. But honestly, I'm very like I know what at one point we are going to learn All for One's name. We already know his brother's name. His brother's name is Yoichi Shigaraki.
Oh yeah. I totally forgot to think about this, but the fact is that she was informed that he reached out to other people.
Yeah, he's got more than one hired gun because he knows he needs the time in order to be prepared.
So I guess what I'm getting at, or what I'm thinking of, is that to destroy the mansion is to, one, like do some damage, but also erase any type of evidence as far as like where they last went. In the meantime, he's already assembled like this like hitman group to go specifically after Deku and
Suicide
capture him.
Squad.
Really though, I think that's how it's gonna be. So this panel of like shadowy figures, definitely keep an eye out for them.
Ain't no mercy. Ain't no mercy. That's the last time I heard from Skrillex, bro.
Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at one of them. I think I'm seeing like dreads, so it's
I noticed that
serious.
too. Are those dreads?
I think those, yeah, and I think there's a beast type one like right to the right. So, yikes!
It's Chimera.
Oh my god, dude! If they
Could you imagine?
somehow did that,
Chimera
Jesus,
is dangerous.
yeah. I was
His
thinking
quirk, I
about
still say, is probably one of the strongest I've ever seen.
what was it? My Hero Academia 2 Heroes, the first one. Think about the magnet dude, but I guess he wouldn't show up because like he's held somewhere else. If not like, oh, actually maybe not. Like I guess it depends on like, because in that circumstance it was like cross like borders and stuff like that. So I don't know if they'd be holding him in Tartarus at that point. And of course the breakout, that would have been an opportunity for him to be recruited. And I'm pretty sure All
Correct.
for One would not have any problems with that. Or it could be like literally the people, the other villain cast from Heroes Rising. So be a cool shout out. Doesn't have to be, but it'd be a cool shout out regardless.
Like, oh man, it's just so this chapter just opens up so many possibilities that I'm really excited for the future of My Hero because I feel like it'd be really interesting.
Yeah. I also would, I mean, this is a personal thing. I would love to have different heroes coming into these different types of operations.
Oh yeah, because
Uh
they said that we'd be seeing heroes from all over the world
oh yeah, that as well. But
because they had to call in reinforcements.
this is true. I wonder if at that point are they in the know? They probably would be.
At this
Because
point,
like
they can't
why
keep
the
hiding stuff
like why
anymore.
the hell do you have this the kid leading this?
Well, yeah, it's because like remember, and they said like in Hero Society, one thing they can't do now is that you can't keep secrets anymore.
Yeah. So in that case, it's easy to assume that they all kind of know. Also, something I noticed is the fact that when Deku does the Arthur meme, you still see the armband already blasted off from one of Lady Nagant's shots.
It really is the Arthur meme, though.
Good consistency on that. Is it Midori?
That's a highlight. That's a stream highlight.
Hmm.
Izuku Midori? Huh?
All right.
Izuku Midori? Huh? Huh?
Well, shoot. Would be great if we can catch that ahead of time, but all right.
Huh? Izuku Midori? Huh? Huh?
I'll I'll mark that down actually. For June 13th.
Huh? Izuku Midori? Huh? Huh?
Okay. All right, that should be good.
Midori Midori Shonen? Huh? Huh?
Huh? Shonen?
Shonen? Huh? Huh?
this poor guy needs like his costume like repaired beyond belief. He's kind of just going all over the place. But damn, dude. Also noticed that like upon the explosion, his mask fell off again.
Pretty much.
So it's like, oh, is it your turn? Huh?
Is it your
Is it
turn?
Midori?
Huh? Is it your turn? Huh? Is it little guy? Huh? Your turn?
You a real deal?
So
Huh?
so
You're the real deal?
you a little sus? Huh? You a little sus?
Kid, you okay? Are you okay, kid?
Huh?
Huh?
You look Midori?
Midori?
Midori Shonen, you okay?
That was the last bit we saw of like All Might. He just got out of the car. He's like, you okay, kid?
Essentially, he's like, yeah, you good?
But yeah, I wonder if last thing to kind of leave it off on is the fact that like Deku like holds it now to like All for One for what he just did.
Oh, he's like, oh, you gonna get it.
Mm-hmm. So it's gonna
He's
be
like, your ass is mine.
so we can expect that it's Deku and all the pro heroes on like a scavenger hunt to find an All for One. In the meantime,
Essentially,
they'll have to find or they'll have to fight off the people who are being sent to go grab Deku. And these are going to be the worst of the worst.
yeah, these should be like hardcore villains.
And while I'm at it, would still love to see Class 1A do something.
I'm sure we're gonna see them come back.
I just wonder how though, and are they okay?
Like, I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah. Man, dude. Also, how's
I mean,
Aizawa like? Last time we saw him, he's on a
what?
hospital bed. He's like, well, here it is.
I miss my leg.
I miss this leg. It's gonna be hard to slip into my favorite sleeping bag.
No, there's more room in it now.
I was gonna say also, but there is more room in it, so I guess it's fine.
About one leg's worth.
At least both my arms are okay. I can sip on my juice all day.
Sipping my juice all day.
Can you imagine Miss Joe coming to Aizawa looking at the leg? And she's like, oh. And Aizawa's like, don't make the joke.
Get out of my hospital room right now.
Get out of the hospital right now. God, dude. All right. So I guess next time, June 20th, we'll come back at back to our regular schedule of what was it, 11 a.m. Pacific time with chapter 317 of My Hero Academia. This has been overall like it's really good, but it's also pretty dark.
Oh, very dark. He just blew them up.
He also just like he loves to muse this any more as he possibly can. Otherwise, he would have just blown it up immediately.
I mean, he said it himself. He loves to predict people. He loves that ego boost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess that's pretty much it. So we'll go ahead and call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next manga stream. But that's us signing out. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone. Izuku Midori?
Izuku Midori?